Start the recording. All right, so our lesson today, we're going to talk about food and drink preferences. Then we will get into your homework assignments on cooking and the recipes that you did. And then we will end up talking about language for eating out. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is in the chat. Let's see if I can, how do I attach something into the chat? Can I do that? I thought I could attach something. Oh, you know what? I'll have to do it as a link. That's what it is. I saved it as a PDF for some reason, forgetting that I could put it in as a link. I don't know where my brain was the other day when I was doing that. All right, so I'll screen share real quickly. We're going to spend a few minutes, maybe about 10 minutes on you guys answering this. So you're going to scroll to the second page. So just ignore this first page up here. That's kind of like instructions for the teacher. So just go to the second page and you will answer these questions. And just get as many of them as you can in the 10 minutes that we're going to allot to do this. And then we'll go over some of the answers. So things like, what food would you have if you're going to eat a midnight snack? What is your first meal that you would have after returning home if you had been traveling for a year? Maybe think about that in terms of what meal would be the first one you would have if and when you all will be allowed to or be able to go back to Ukraine, something like that, right? So just adjust these to fit circumstances. Just have fun with it and think about the foods that you would like to have. I'm also going to, in the link or in the chat, here is some food vocabulary as well. It's not going to have every type of food that is there, but it's just some of the basics that we have, and then adjectives that we use to describe some foods as well. So this is just going to be additional information for you. So I'll add that into the chat. All right, and let's take the next 10 minutes to kind of fill out and answer this little section here, okay? Mm-hmm. And this is the first link that I put into the chat for you guys. I'm gonna take off the screen share there and just let you guys work on your own. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask me, okay?
What does mean a quiet taste?
It means something that it may take you several times in eating it before you decide whether you like it.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Very good question.
And the last question, the first thing I ever cooked, do you mean like recently something new?
Which number is it?
Number 13.
This the first thing. So the very first thing that you ever cooked. If
Like-
you remember from like years and years and years ago. I don't know that I could ever remember that either. To be
Like
honest.
when I was a child?
Yeah. Take a wild guess if you don't remember exactly what it was.
Ellie, will you tell your answers to us?
Yes, I will also tell you my answers. I'm working on a couple of them. Do you all have your answers done? Or are you still working on them?
Yeah, just some frame of answers.
Okay. Margot, are you still working on yours?
Yes, I do nines.
Okay, no problem. We've got, we'll take a couple more minutes, no problem. I don't have an answer for all of them. But that's okay. Svetlana, how about you? How are you doing?
Finished. But I don't understand about 16. It takes ages to make, but it's well worth wait.
That's okay. So 16 is the one that, yeah, so it takes a very long time to make it, but it's worth
Oh.
it Mhm. So yeah, it says it takes ages. It means it takes a very long time. All right, we'll go ahead and look at the answers. Marina, what do you have for number one? I'd like to have this as a midnight snack.
Usually I try not to have
Yeah.
midnight snack, but in case I really need it, I prefer to have some boiled egg and brown bread.
Okay, nice. Elena?
For a midnight snack, I
Mhm.
would have a fruit, something like apricot.
Okay, nice. Margot?
I also wrote some fruits, and now in summer it can be sweet cherry.
Okay, interesting. And Svetlana, how about you?
I try don't eat at night, but when I'm really angry, I eat everything what I have.
I also try not to eat. I usually don't like to eat past 6 o'clock at night, but if I'm going to have, so even not a midnight snack, but a snack later, it probably is going to be something chocolate. Most likely. Okay. Svetlana, I'll start back with you for number two. This will be your first meal after returning home from traveling.
After returning home from traveling, I eat meat and fish.
Okay.
And I like meat and fish. That's why it's my the best meal ever.
Okay. That's your favorite meal then. Nice. Good. Margot, how about you?
What do you say? Meat? It's
Meat and fish.
Meat and fish.
Meat or fish.
Or fish. Meat
or
or
fish.
fish.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Margot?
Actually, I miss cinnamon. It's like a sweet bun with cinnamon.
That sounds really good. Okay. Elena?
After returning home, I will eat the borscht and syrniki.
Okay. I know borscht. I don't know the other one.
Syrniki
What
is
is-
kind of round like pancakes, but like thick pancakes, and it makes from curd.
Okay. I think I had it whenever I was in Ukraine. So
Yeah, it's popular.
it's very popular. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, thanks. And Marina?
The same as Olena, I will eat borscht. I miss it very much, and maybe a small piece of salo. How can I say salo? Do you know? It's some kind of fat from pork. It's under the skin of pork. It's
Okay.
yeah, it's hard fat.
Okay. All right. Mine usually is beans and cornbread, which is a very Southern American dish, and it's my favorite meal to have. Interesting though, I've been back for 2 weeks and I still haven't had it. So I need to fix that at some point here really soon because I am starting to crave it. My mom used to make it for me all the time because she was really good at the cornbread. I'm not as good with the cornbread, so that's probably why I haven't eaten it.
It looks like some kind of cereal from corn?
No, so it actually kind of looks like pancakes, the way I like it. Some people bake it in the oven,
Okay.
but the way that I grew up eating it, I'll show you the one that it looks kind of like what is baked in the oven. And you use the cast iron skillet to bake it. So it usually, you know, can look like this and be kind of thick. But I always grew up with it being fried. So it looks more like this, which is kind of almost like a pancake, but you're using cornmeal instead of, you know, like pancake mix and stuff.
And
So,
is it sweet?
yeah, it does have kind of a sweet taste to it.
Напоминает оладушки.
Yes.
Remind us our Ukraine оладушки.
Okay. And then we always have beans. Let's see. Internet is really slow. So the beans look like this. So they're just basically like pinto beans is what they are. Or we either call it a soup bean or a pinto bean. I don't know what that would be.
Okay. So you put it inside this cornbread, yes?
Well, some people do. Yes, they mix the cornbread in with the beans, but I've always liked them separate. So like I would eat a bite of the beans and then eat a cornbread. But I'm also weird with my food. I typically eat all of one food before I go to the next thing. So like I would eat all of my beans and then eat my cornbread, or eat all of my cornbread and then my beans. But I do that with all my food because I'm just weird. So, but some people do. And then some people like to take the cornbread and put it in a glass of milk, but I've never liked milk either. So it all just depends on, you know, some of the things that how you're brought up and stuff in the areas of where people are.
Okay.
But it is definitely more of a southern US thing. It's not something you'll find in all of the US. So. Okay, next, it's really delicious, but it is not very good for you. Marina, I'll start back with you.
Of course, it's a lot of kind of cakes and yeah, something from flour. Usually, a lot of carbohydrates.
Yes.
Yes, but it's delicious.
Good. Elena?
Chips like potato crisps.
Yes. Yep. Margot?
Chips and candies.
Svetlana?
For me, it's smoked meat, biscuits, of course, and salads with mayonnaise.
Okay. For me, it is, it's called a churro, which is a Mexican, it's like fried dough, basically. Again, I'll share my screen real quick to show you. So the fact that it's dough and it's deep fried, it's just very unhealthy. And then you dip it in chocolate. So yeah, really, really good, but very, very unhealthy for you. All right, next one is something that's an acquired taste. Svetlana.
For me, it's cheeses with malt.
Okay. I agree. Margot?
For me, it's olives.
Oh, I love olives, though. They're so good. I can just sit and eat handfuls of them. Elena?
For me, it was also olives, but I thought probably it because first I tried it when I was about 14 years old, and for me it was so weird.
Yeah. Okay. And Marina?
Yeah, I have the same experience. It took me maybe 3 times to love olives, but actually I'm not sure what I done, why I done this, because now I'm fine of olives. They are maybe some of the most delicious food for me, but sometimes I thought I just could stop on the second or first time and never try it again, and it would be okay.
Yeah, it would be a completely different experience now, for sure. For me, it is yogurt. It took me a really long time to start liking yogurt. And I was an adult, so it's probably been like 30 years ago. and maybe not, yeah, probably around there. But I had to start mixing it first with like cereal, where I would have more cereal than the yogurt, and then gradually start like using less of the cereal until I had it down to almost nothing inside the yogurt to be able to eat it. But now I love it, and I can eat it just plain.
Do you mean like plain Greek yogurt?
Yes. Yeah, I really like it now.
Why did you decide to start to introduce it into your diet?
I think because all the diets were talking about how yogurt was a healthy snack to have, and it's good for you because of the calcium and all that kind of stuff. So that was probably why. And like family members were eating it, and I couldn't understand why they were eating it and liked it, and I didn't. So I just thought, well, I'll just try it, and then
Okay.
I liked it. So,
Ali, did you ever try kefir?
I feel like I have not.
Oh, you should try.
Okay.
and ryażonka.
Okay.
Oh.
I will add that to my list.
Yeah, and tell us, what do you think about that? I don't know where you will find it. Maybe in some Polish shop.
I know that we do have the kefir. I know for sure we have it. I've seen it in some of our restaurants, or in some of our grocery stores here. So, all right, I'll add that to my list of things to try.
I loved kefir, but I realized that abroad, for example, in Germany, I bought one, but it was not so not the same as in Ukraine. Yeah, it was not very good.
Right, and I think that is a very good point about food, is that even the things that we like and we grow up with, when we go to a different place, that food can taste differently because it is using some different ingredients, or it's prepared a little differently, or something like that. And so then that can also be an acquired taste for the particular area that you're in trying some of the same foods and things. It's very interesting. Okay, I'm going to skip over a couple of these just for time's sake, but what is something that smells really good? Elena, I'll start with you.
Strawberries.
Oh, yes, you're right, they do. Margot. Number 8.
Which number was that?
Number 8.
Smells
Number
very
8.
good.
Freshly baked croissants.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
I remember just now one building, there was a little bakery with croissants, and it smelled all over the street. And it was really good.
Awesome. Svetlana, how about you?
As for me, I like watermelon fresh. It's more delicious than watermelon.
Okay.
I don't know why.
All right. And Marina?
First thing that came to my mind, it was passion fruit. I love it very, very much. But
Okay.
when you say fresh strawberry or fresh cooked fresh baked croissants, I agree, totally agree.
For me, it is, and I agree with the fruit smells and stuff, but for me, it is popcorn. There is just something about when you make popcorn, or you walk into like a movie theater or somewhere where they're fixing popcorn, and it's just like, oh, I want popcorn. So
So you're fan of corn in
Yeah.
any kind of.
I am, yes. We grow it here too, so I guess that's why I grew up eating lots of corn. What is too spicy? Margot. So number 9, what is too spicy?
Chili pepper.
Chili pepper for me as well.
Okay. Svetlana?
For me, too spicy is Indian and Thai food, but I like it.
So here you can ask for like no spice, and that's what I do. I love Indian and Thai. They're both 2 of my favorite cuisines, but I'm always like no spice, like 0 spice. And occasionally the Indian place will I'm not sure what they do, but they end up putting spice in it, and I'm like, whoo, that was a lot. Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
And Marina, how about you?
I like spicy food, I would say, but maybe I've never tried a real real spicy food. I don't know.
Right.
But I know that jalapeno is even more spicy than chili pepper.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
there is one that's called a ghost pepper that is supposedly even spicier than a jalapeno. So I don't know. Those are outside of my range as well. I don't like any of that. I did start eating a little bit more spicy while I was in Mexico, but it was very slowly trying to build my spice level up. But I don't think I'll ever get to a point where a chili pepper, like a strong chili pepper or a jalapeno or anything, will be what I want.
And
Okay.
once I asked one person from Mexico, is he can make difference between different kind of papers, and he said yes, I can. For example, I can how can I say
Distinguish.
distinguish jalapeno, for example, from chili or from other peppers. It's amazing.
It makes sense because they grow up eating all of them from the time that they're born, practically. So yeah. Okay, next one. I'm curious about the first thing that you ever cooked. So Olena, did you come up with something? The first thing that you ever cooked?
I think it was soup, because
Okay.
in my childhood it was soup. You should have soup every day.
Mm-hmm.
We lived in a private house, and my parents grow vegetables, so I should go to the plot of land, take carrots, I don't know, whatever, and then cook soup.
Okay, awesome. Marina, how about you? What was the first thing you ever cooked?
As far as I remember, it was apple pie. It was in my summer camp, and it was some training. How they taught us how we can prepare apple pie, and it was delicious. Besides that, we made it first time of our life. It was delicious for me, and now I cannot find this taste of apple pie when I once eat in my camp.
Like you don't have the right. Well, there was some kind of additional flavor or something that was used. That
No, it's maybe because it was too small a piece of this. Because we divided it for all between all of us, so it was very small but delicious.
Gotcha. Okay. Svetlana, how about you? What was the first thing you ever cooked?
Of course, it was a biscuit with creams, with fruits. I remember when I cooked it, it was so delicious. And I liked it.
Nice.
No.
Okay. And Margot?
I wrote Charlotte. It's like also like some pie with apples.
Yeah, Charlotte, the same.
Charlotte, yes.
But I think, do you know, Ali, do you know Charlotte? No. Okay, that's why I said that it's some kind of apple pie.
An apple pie. Okay, I understand. Thank you. I think for me, it was either chocolate chip cookies, because that was one of the things I've always made, I feel like, since I was born practically, or a blackberry cobbler. We have blackberries here on the farm. And so when they're in season, and they're almost ripe now, I walked by some of them earlier, and there's a couple of them that are finally starting to change color. And so I would always go and pick a bunch of blackberries and then make, so a cobbler is similar to a pie. So it's kind of the same thing. Okay. And so we'll I'm gonna combine these two, something that's good to eat in the summer and something that's good to eat in the winter. Svetlana, what is good to eat in the summer and something that's good to eat in the winter?
In summer, I like fruits, strawberries, cherries, and etc. But in winter, Not special, but I like it's not eat, it's drink glintwein, hot wine with spices.
Okay. Margot?
We have
Oh, sorry.
a glintwein season with my friends.
Right,
and,
right. Okay,
every week we try to do it.
nice. Okay, Margot?
In summer, I like watermelon and
same.
ice cream.
Mhm.
And in winter, it's hot chocolate.
Ah, yes, very nice. Okay. Marina?
In summer, I recall the like cold soup, okroshka.
Okay.
It's made from fresh radish and cucumbers
Mhm.
with eggs, with potato. It's all of them are cutted by small square pieces,
Okay.
and then you can put whatever you want: yogurt, kefir, some even water with lemon acid. It's up to you. So and sprinkle a bit of herbs which you like. Which you
Okay.
love.
Nice.
And in winter, for me, it's borscht because it's usually hot and nutrition. Nutritious.
Nutritious?
Nutritious, yes.
Nutritious. Yes. All right, good, perfect. And Olena?
For me, also berries in summer and in winter, plov. This is a dish that made from rice and grated carrots and fried onions and meat.
Okay. I think I've seen that done on one of the cooking shows that I watch. I feel like I've watched them maybe make that or something. So cool. For me, also the same as Margot, for the summer, it's ice cream and watermelon. And then similar to the borscht, I like tomato soup during the winter time. Tomato soup and grilled
Gazpacho.
so that is that's my favorite kind of wintertime cold weather foods. All right, so now your homework assignments. Does anybody want to go first to talk about what they cooked? And if you have any pictures, you can show us your pictures and talk about the recipe that you did. If nobody wants to go first, I'll just choose somebody.
Unfortunately, I don't have any possibilities to cook now,
Okay.
but I'd like to, and I'm making my dreams when I will get my maybe own electrical
Yes.
device for cooking.
Right. So your own kitchen and your own things to cook. I understand.
Yes.
I kind of feel the
maybe
same way right now, being at my brother's house, and like, you know, I don't feel like it's really my space to go in and just make like a big meal and stuff. So I understand completely.
Yes,
Yeah.
And when I get my own kitchen, I will prepare shakshuka.
Ah, I like shakshuka.
Yeah,
Yes, okay.
I like it very
So
much.
tell me how you prepare it. What is the recipe and how do you do it?
First of all, you should put some butter on the frying pan and put some sliced onion. And then you cooked beat it, and then you should put sliced or chopped or cutted tomatoes, peeled tomatoes, and also put some. When you boiled meat, you can use this. What's the name of this?
like the fat or the oil from not the oil.
No,
of
no,
the-
no, no, not oil.
Grease.
It's just liquid after you boiling. You can prepare meat in
Okay, it's the
boiled
grease.
water. And what's the this water? What is the name?
Grease.
What?
Grease.
Grease?
Hmm.
Okay, maybe. So you can after your onion and tomato and pepper, by the way, paprika, you can put paprika, and after then you need to pour some cup of grease.
Hmm.
Okay, and the main seed you should use for this dish, it's cumin.
Hmm. I
Zira
like
or
yep.
cumin. Yeah, it's you should use it for sure. And you also this dish should also be spicy, so you need to put some chili pepper as much as you like. And after then you have some liquid in your frying pan, and you should broken some eggs, and take care not to broke the yellow spot inside inside this. So, and you can cook it for 5 or 7 minutes, and after that sprinkle with your loved herbs. It could be basil or cilantro or parsley or dill or whatever you want, or green onion. It depends on
Okay.
your taste. Yeah, and shakshuka should be spicy and hot.
Spicy and hot. I don't like the spicy part of the shakshuka, but I do like the rest of it. For sure. So we would say break some eggs, and you want to be careful not to break the yolk as well. That's
Yolk, yes,
the yellow
yes.
part. Mhm. So break the
Mhm.
yolk. Elena, you were asking about the bouillon. Are you talking about that for as part of the liquid or as an ingredient to go in?
I think Marina wanted to ask how will be in English bouillon, but maybe in
Yes,
English it's the same bouillon.
The same bouillon. Mhm.
bouillon, yes. Oh,
Yep.
thank you.
You're welcome. I missed that. Sorry. I don't know how I missed you asking that question. My apologies.
No, you answered. You said it's grease, but maybe it's something
Yeah.
different.
Right.
Grease, it's like fat, yes. Grease.
Well, the grease is, yeah, it comes from the fat of the meat when you're
Mhm.
cooking it. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
in
but
Morocco-
you need use water like bouillon, yes.
Mhm. Right. Okay, I understand now. I was going to show you. It's similar to shakshuka, but it's called a Berber omelet. When I was in Morocco, this one is the closest one that looks like one that I had, which is very similar. It's like tomatoes with the egg in it, and you just kind of let the egg like cook inside of it without mixing it up and stuff. So, and then you would eat it with bread, and then occasionally with some of the olives and stuff in it. But it's always interesting to me how foods can be very similar in different cultures. There may be a couple of ingredients different or a different style of how it's made, but a lot of it is very similar in what we eat.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Great. Thanks, Marina. Elena, how about you? Did you have a chance to make anything over the weekend?
No, but I can tell how to prepare a whole chicken. So you take medium size raw chicken, and then you boil some kind of macaroni type pasta,
Mhm.
and you take 2 apples and chop it, and then mix it with boiled macaroni. you take some spices for the chicken and put it like inside, outside, and salt. And then you take this macaroni mixed with apple and stuff the chicken inside and keep it like in a fridge to take the flavor of all these herbs. And then you put it in this kind of special plastic bag and put in the oven for 1.5 hours. And then you will see it will be like with brown skin, then it's ready. And this the apples give this very nice juice, and just cut and eat it with some garnier.
That sounds yummy. Sounds very good. All right. I'm going to be very, I haven't eaten yet, so I'm going to be very hungry by the time we get done with the lesson.
And how should you cut your apples? Like a slice or dice or?
Like for vinaigrette for Olivier, something like that.
So it's dice, yeah?
Yes, the dice.
Okay, great question. All right, thank you. Margot. I know you're kind of in a transition right now, so I'm sure it's probably hard to cook as well.
I didn't prepare, but I know how to do a cheesecake without baking. You have to do I didn't translate yet. I try to translate right now. Maybe someone who can do this, and I after the person who, or you ask everybody.
We will try to help you if you ask us.
I think I can translate a lot of hard words in this recipe.
Tell us which words.
Do you want me to come back to you in just a minute? Svetlana hasn't gone yet.
Yes.
So, okay, I'll come back to you in just a minute. All right, Svetlana, how about you? Did you have a chance to fix anything?
Last week when I went to Ukraine and invited my friends, I prepared stewed domestic duck with apple and rice. First of all, I cooked rice in milk, and after semi-finished rice, I put inside this duck with apple. And after I grated duck with salt, spices, garlic, and put this duck in a plastic bag. And prepare it in oven, how much hours, how kilos weight this duck. It was about 3 hours because duck was 3 kilos. And it was good. And I want to say that when I went to Poland, I tried very simple but very delicious salad. It's from carrot, greased, carrot greased with orange fresh.
Okay.
It's very tasty.
It sounds yummy. Yes.
Yes, I don't know why, but carrot with orange, very good.
Yeah, I love carrots. They're one of my favorite vegetables. For sure. So anything that has a carrot in it, I'm going to like it probably.
My daughter likes carrots. I don't know why.
Okay, Margot, how are you doing on your translation?
Yes. So cheesecake without baking. Actually, this recipe was good because when I think it's for a lazy person, and result is good.
Okay, perfect.
So you have to grind cookies in a blender, melt butter in microwave, and add cocoa to cookies and stir. After that, you have to add melted butter to the crumbled cookies and mix this and tap around. And put in the refrigerator like 20 minutes. And when it in the refrigerator, you can do your cream. So you have to put mascarpone with white marshmallow into a glass bowl and to microwave like maybe for 2-3 minutes. And after that, you take your so yes, I try to do it faster for you.
Okay.
So let the cream dry a little, and you have to put this on your, как сказать, тесто.
Dough.
Hmm?
Dough.
Though, yes, you have to put this cream under your cookies and took it to refrigerator like maybe 5-6 hours or maybe night. And for morning you have a good cheesecake.
Sounds good. We could also say like instead of dough, it would be like the cookie crumble or the cookie base that is there. That you're
Yes,
putting the
maybe.
cream inside. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Now everybody's hungry, right? So
Yes.
I have a question still about cooking. So is there something that you have always wanted to try to make or bake or cook that you tried and you just have failed every single time? So for me, it's bread. Like I have a couple of recipes to make bread and I've tried to do it. I'm horrible at it. So I just, even the cornbread, like I was telling you earlier, like for whatever reason, I just can't seem to be a bread making person. I can do just about anything else, but not bread. So is there something for you that you would like to be able and you've tried, but you just cannot seem to do that? Anyone?
I try to. I usually try to prepare not very time-consuming dishes, and
Right.
but sometimes biscuit preparing could be tricky if you don't. For example, if you use not very hot oven, it could be it cannot raise, or
Right.
so sometimes you will never know is it good or not in next time.
Right. Right. That's true. Okay. Yeah, I know. Like certain temperatures, if you need to let it sit or you don't let it sit long enough to rise, and sometimes with the temperature of the oven, it's either too hot or it's not hot enough, and stuff that can always have a problem. Yeah, I say all breads, but I can make a really good banana bread. That's the only bread that I can actually make, but all other kinds of breads I can't seem to do very well. So
is it also sweet bread?
Banana bread?
Yeah,
it is. Mm-hmm. It is kind of a sweet bread. We use ripened bananas. So like as the bananas start getting to the point where you can't eat them anymore, they're perfect to use. So it's a great way to use them up before they all go bad. So
we don't have such problems.
Sometimes it seems like we do. I was just noticing earlier, and I think some of them are too far gone, but I'm like, oh, I could have made some banana bread with all these bananas sitting around. So I think sometimes they get hidden and people don't realize that they're there, and so they haven't been eaten this week. So Elena, anything for you?
I think вареники.
And
The
what is
dough
that?
for this, it's not so easy to dumplings. Yeah, not easy.
Okay. Yeah, I can understand that. Margot, anything for you?
It's 16, yes.
I'm sorry?
16 questions or not?
Actually, no, the number 16 was more something about it. It takes a long time to do it, but it's worth it the question is more, is there something that you've tried to make and you just aren't any good at doing it?
Ah. I don't know, actually. I have no, it's not happened to me.
What about pancakes? Usually, I recall that usually pancakes, when you especially try to do it the best, usually I failed.
Actually,
didn't try.
the last 3 times I've tried to make pancakes, they've all been a failure. So yeah, that's a good one. I didn't used to have a problem with it. I don't know what the issue. I think part of the problem was also living in Mexico where I was at a higher altitude. And sometimes you have to adjust recipes depending on altitude levels and things. And I think that was part of it because my roommate could make them and they were perfect, but I tried the exact same recipe and I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I cannot do this. So who knows? Svetlana, how about you? Anything?
I have never tried to cook bread and pies. No, not big pies. In Ukraine, we called it pyrishki. Small pies with fruits or etc. And sometimes something went wrong with biscuits.
Yeah. Bread seems to be a common theme here. All right. Oh, so we're going to move into the last section today, talking about eating out. And so before we get into the lesson portion of it, what is your favorite type of restaurant to go to eat out? So, if you had a choice to go anywhere, which would be your favorite type of food to go and pick? Margot, I'll start with you.
Especially at restaurant.
Yes, in a restaurant.
I don't like, I don't know, maybe sushi.
Okay. Marina?
I'm balancing between Italian and French.
Okay. Nice. What would you get at a French restaurant?
Onion soup. It's
French onion
remarkable.
soup. Yes. Okay. Nice. Elena? You are on mute.
Yeah, the question was where I would like to go out.
Right. Like what type of a restaurant, if you could choose?
I think in Indian kitchen and also some kind of modern cuisine where food is kind of in small dishes, but looks very like an art.
Very fancy looking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. And Svetlana?
When we live in Kiev, me and my daughter went to the restaurant each week, and main reason when we went there, it was kinder room. Because if there is a kinder room, you can sit, eat, and rest in peace.
Okay, nice. I think mine, if I can choose, and it's just me, especially with the choice, because my family doesn't agree with the way that I eat. We are on different eating patterns. I choose either Indian or Thai. Those are my 2 favorite. My niece will go with me to eat those, but no one else in my family really cares for those cuisines. So I'm either eating with my niece or I'm eating by myself, one of the 2. All right, so I have a little lesson here that we're going to look at some terminology. And with this, we're going to read this menu. These are sandwiches that are made with homemade bread and a side of a salad. But the there's different kinds of the sandwiches. So we have something that's a vegetarian, one that is for a meat eater, a vegan, and a pescatarian. Question first is, do you know these terminologies or do you need help with those explanations?
I don't know who is pescatarian.
Pescatarian, okay.
It's me. It's,
You do? Okay.
I didn't eat meat, but I eat fish.
That's me also, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the difference? Because it's different attitude to vegan and vegetarian, and what is exact difference? Do
So,
you?
yes, the difference
Vegan
is with
Oh.
vegan is there is absolutely no animal products at all. So there's like
no
like
milk,
yogurt, no milk,
eggs.
yeah. No eggs. Even honey would be considered non-vegan because I mean, yeah, you couldn't eat it as a vegan because it comes from a bee. So nothing that would come from any type of an animal would be included as a vegan. Whereas vegetarian is mainly
As
just
a
don't eat.
insect.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's an it right, but if we're talking extremes, I've done vegan in my past, but I usually eat. I'm okay, like personally, with eating honey. I don't consider it the same. So I've never been like a strict person in like any of these kind of things. So, but yeah, vegetarian is basically someone who just doesn't eat red meat or any kind of meats, like no chicken or turkey or anything like that. Or fish.
But in this case, what is the difference between pescatarian and vegetarian?
A pescatarian is someone who they're a vegetarian, but they include eating fish. So
So
the
vegetarian refuse to eat fish as well. Yes.
right, correct.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So Margot, if you'll read the first one here and let us know which one of these four would go with it.
The BBQ garden: bacon, avocado, feta cheese, sun-dried tomatoes. Meat eater.
All right, and Marina, if you'll read the next one.
The Mad Garden: roasted red pepper, hummus, cucumber, fresh spinach leaves. It seems like it's vegan.
Mm-hmm.
But
Do you have a question? Okay, Elena, number 3.
The seaside garden: tuna, garlic mayo, cucumber, red onion. It's a vegetarian.
I think it's pescatarian because tuna
Pescatarian.
is
Because of the tuna.
okay.
Yeah. So my question is, this next one should be the vegetarian, but it includes, yeah,
I
that
think
would
it can be.
That's
I
fine.
think a vegetarian can eat cheese.
Yes.
Because
I don't know what I was thinking there for a second. But yes, you're right. It's vegans that don't eat the milk products. My brain stopped
Vegan
there for a second.
actually,
Go ahead.
vegan actually don't eat honey because it's used with bees.
Right.
It's like they think that bees like slaves for people.
Right. Yeah. It is very interesting way of viewing that. Yeah. Which of these would you choose if you were at the restaurant? Svetlana,
Meat eater, of course.
the kitchen garden?
No, meat eater, the barbecue garden.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. You said the first and I thought you said the fourth. My apologies. Elena?
I think I would choose vegan or vegetarian one.
Mhm. Okay. Marina?
I prefer seaside garden because I like fish.
Yeah. Okay. And Margot?
Seaside garden.
I think the vegan, the pescatarian, and the vegetarian one all look good. But if I had to choose right now, I probably would go with the kitchen garden. I love goat cheese. It's one of my favorites, which is why I can't be completely vegan because I love cheese and especially goat cheese. So that would be the one that I would go for. Anytime I'm in a restaurant and it has goat cheese, something or another, I'm like, that's what I want. Always. All right. So we're going to read through a little conversation here that does have some gaps and stuff in it, but we'll come back to looking at that. Mainly what we're looking at here is not necessarily even filling in the gaps, but it's more of some of the terminologies we would use when we're in a restaurant or a cafe. All right. Matter of fact, I know I took a picture of these answers, or at least I thought I took a picture of these answers the other day. Oh.
Oh, it's about Edinburgh.
I think there would be something about a table here, but I just realized I did not, if I did take a picture, it's not showing up on my screen. So give me just a second. Let me scroll down to get to where the answers are here. Real quick. The answers are at the top. Usually the answers are at the bottom. This time the answers are at the top. That's going to be too difficult. It's like you have to go to 5 or 6 different places to try to find the answers. Never mind. Okay. I now remember that I had thought the reason why I didn't take a picture is because I decided not to do that section of it. We're going to move on to the next section. You all do have a copy of this in the homework file. So if you want to go back and look at some of those terminologies and things that you would use in going to a restaurant, you have that, and we'll look at a couple of them here in a minute. We're going to look at these and talking about some of the other language that we would need to know. Each of these words, the first letter is given to us for the word itself. Margot, I'm going to start with you. If you'll read number 1 and then see if you know what the answer for that one might be.
A medical condition in which you become ill as a reaction to something you eat or touch. Allergy.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to type the whole word because it's easier. It looks better that way whenever I type it all.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Marina, number 2.
An amount of food served at the same time as a main dish, but on the separate plate. It's maybe side.
Yes, correct. It's a side dish. So
Side dish.
either a side or a side dish, either one.
What is a side dish?
A side dish would be like if you order a steak as your main dish, then the side would be like vegetables or a potato or maybe
Garnier.
or
Garnier.
so it's like
Garnier.
it's in addition to whatever the main portion of your meal is. A salad could be a side. It could also be the appetizer as well. Yeah. It depends on how the restaurant is set up, but a lot of times it will come also on a separate plate if it is something on the side. Okay. All right, Elena.
Something that you can choose in a particular situation. Is it optional? What do you-
Yes. Yep. Correct. Good. All right, Svetlana, number 4.
Liquid foods that you put on other foods to give them a particular flavor, maybe spices, sauce.
Sauce. Good.
Sauce.
All right, Margot, number 5.
A small amount of different food used to make a dish look more attractive. I don't know.
Garlic, може.
No. Garnet.
Ah.
Garnish. Yeah.
Garnish. Yes, that one's a tricky one. Yeah. All right, and Marina, number 6.
A dish that is not usually served at restaurant but is available on a particular day. Special.
Yes. So when you go into
Specialty.
or special or speciality, you can go in. A lot of times they'll have maybe a special item listed like on a chalkboard or written down, or maybe in addition
Seasonal
type
dish.
food. Right. One of the restaurants that my family likes to go to on Thursdays for lunch, the reason they like to go is because the special is meatloaf, and that's like my family's favorite meal to have. And so they will go on Thursdays because that's what is served on that day. Any other questions on these words?
Which is difference side dish and garnish?
A garnish is usually just like a, I think of a garnish as, oh, I'm having a hard, it's like the green stuff that you would just kind of sprinkle around or sit onto the side.
It's maybe figure cutting some part of carrots or something like that.
So like this right here would be the garnish.
Ah, decorate.
Decorate, yeah.
Yeah, decorate. That makes more sense. Yeah, it's like a decorative little piece. So any of that, I have a little fancy little apple there as a garnish.
Yes.
You can get really fancy with it, or you can just sprinkle some stuff on top as well. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions on those?
How can I say if I for example, I already ate my main dish, but I'd like to get more, and how can I ask? What is the name of
order additional food, or order like an appetizer? Or
no, order the same for it's usually not in restaurant. It's happened in when you eat with family and you eat your portion and then ask one more or a bit more.
So we would like to have seconds.
Okay.
Or in my family, it could be thirds or fourths as well, depending on what it is. If it's fresh corn from the garden, we might have thirds or fourths of something. So you're going back for additional food. So yes, so it would be seconds.
And how can I offer, for example, would you like some seconds?
No, I think we usually would just say, would you like more?
More, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I was just trying to think if there would be another way of saying it, but I would think if I'm asking, I would say, would you like more? Would you like seconds? Yeah, you can say that as well.
Once I heard helping. Is it
helping?
Work?
A helping is usually like one serving. So would you like a helping of mashed potatoes? So it's like a serving of something.
Okay.
I also know there is expression like help yourself. I think it means like you're welcome to take it, right?
Right. So especially if there's like a buffet type situation where you can go and get the amount of whatever food you want in whatever amount that you want, then it would be help yourself to what is there. Yes. Good questions. Anything else that you've come across or would like to know about how to ask? There are a
Also,
couple
I also know, I don't know, girls, do you know what does mean leftovers?
leftovers.
I heard, but I don't remember.
So
It's-
leftovers. Go ahead, Elena.
When you cooked a lot of food and some bits of food left and you put it in a fridge, so these are leftovers. And then you cook something from it on the next day, something
Right.
like
You can warm it up to eat the next
Yeah.
day or mix
Ah.
it in with something else to make a different meal. At a restaurant, you would ask for a to-go box,
Yeah.
to take your leftovers home with you. They also, I haven't heard the terminology used much, and I don't know about in Britain, but we used to call it a doggy bag or a doggy box.
Yeah,
Because a lot of times you're
that's
taking
for
it
my
home.
dog.
Right, you're taking it home for your animals, for your dogs. But a lot of times people are taking the food home for themselves. So, we don't always say it a doggy bag or a doggy box anymore. It's usually just a to-go box to take home the leftovers. Here are a couple of other things. I know, Elena, you need to be heading out here in a moment or so, but these are just some other types of questions that you either will hear or you can ask yourself. If you're not clear about what is in a certain dish, then you could ask for vegans, pescatarians, vegetarians, whatever. Maybe even gluten-free is one as well. So that's one that I'm coming up with myself personally. So knowing whether or not something has gluten in it, or maybe if you have like a milk allergy, does it contain milk or other allergies like nuts? So any of those types of allergies that you may have, you would want to be able to ask about that. Asking if you can do a half-size portion is also something that you might be able to do. The waiter will ask you if you would like to see a dessert menu. Usually, sometimes they're already listed on the main menu, but after the end of the meal, they may ask if you would want to see a dessert menu to add anything to, if you don't remember what was on it or you didn't look in the beginning. All right, see you on Friday. Good luck, have fun this week, everything. Can I get you any sauces? So depending on what types of food that you are eating, it might be, maybe with French fries, you would want either ketchup or, mayonnaise or something like that, or maybe some other types of sauces, depending on the foods that are there. Can I have the bill now, please? Another word for bill, you could say check. So, can you bring the check now, or even just check please is also appropriate. Does this dish contain nuts? The waiter may ask, is everything all right with your meal? Depending on where you are, they may not even say that fully. They'll just be like, everything okay? Or everything, is everything all right? Without asking the full sentence in there. Are you ready to order? And then you can ask, what does this come with? So sometimes they'll show like the main, you have your appetizer list, and then it shows your main dishes that are there, but you don't always know what all it comes with. If you're ordering a steak, does that come with a choice of a salad, a baked potato, whatever sides and things like that? Sometimes they will have it listed on the menu and sometimes they do not. Any other types of questions like that you can think of, or anything you have a question about with any of these?
No.
How often do you all go out to eat? Are you, some of you, eating out more right now just because of the situation that you're in and it's harder to cook at the moment?
Yeah, but in my family, in previous time, we used to go out to eat in average maybe once a week.
Okay.
Or twice. It depends. So once a week, okay.
Okay, good. Svetlana, how about you?
We went once a week or more often.
Mhm.
But now we went just 1 or 2 times here for 2
Okay.
months.
Okay, nice. That's good. And Margot, I know right at the moment, again, is probably you're in at that transition point, so things are a little different for you, but under normal circumstances, how often would you eat out?
Actually, I was very busy because I have my work and another project, so I have really no time for cooking, and I always eat in. I maybe eat breakfast at home, but all the time I eat at a cafe or restaurant or order some food, and now I have to cook a lot because
Okay.
yes, I live in small. I don't know how to say. It's not village. It's like in Sweden. Actually, it's when you fly near Sweden, you can see that it's a lot of green area, and one house here, one house here, one house here, and so yes, I have. Nearest shop like 30 minutes you have go to bus, and you have to go, or maybe 1 hour you can go for a walk with this shop, but it's
Okay.
this is there is a bus to Stockholm, but I just visit once, and it's a really interesting time for me with cooking actually.
Right. I understand. I was similar when I was in Morocco. There was no cafes or restaurants or anything in the village or area that I lived in. I had to go like 45 minutes away to go to one, but that was also where the grocery stores were as well. So I would usually go in to get some things at the grocery, and then would eat at one of the restaurants just because it was there. And I would do that, every couple of weeks or so. And but I either ate at other people's homes just because of the situation that I was in. I could eat at just about anybody's house, or I was cooking my own food as well. So the much different lifestyle than what I'm used to when I'm here with my family. They eat out almost every day here. So there's always, like restaurant, we're either going somewhere or someone's picking it up and bringing it home, or going to a fast food place or something like that. And very little actual cooking is done because everyone's so busy all the time. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Bless you.
All right. There's just one more section that I wanted to show and talk a little bit about some more terminology here. I actually had to look this last one up because I've never heard words. And apparently the coolest, this is a smooth sauce made from crushed fruit or vegetables. I feel like I'm pretty good with food terminologies, but that one is a new one for me. So I don't know if it is more used in Britain and not as much in the US or whatever. So you might run across it in your eating out. So we have, dressing. Margot, is dressing A or B here?
Dressing. Maybe A.
Yes. Dressing would be something what we would call putting on top of the salad. So a salad dressing, or it could be other types of things, but usually a salad is what we're putting a dressing on. Marina, gravy.
Gravy. Oh, it was my question about a liquid made by boiling meat.
Yeah.
Vegetables.
So yeah, it can be, I guess gravy is what you were coming up with. And in my brain, it wasn't, I was thinking something totally and completely different. So, all right, perfect. Svetlana, mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is beer, a thick white sauce made from egg yolks and oil.
Yes, good. All right, Margot, number 4, stuffing.
Cold food made from fruit paste and vinegar eaten. Stuffing. Maybe B.
Yes. Right. Yeah. All right. And Marina, the last one, relish.
I don't know what is it. Let's guess. Cold sauce. It everything was B, so I assume that it's B.
And this one is actually A. So this would be, it usually is green. See if I can find a picture of it here real quick. We use it either for like burgers or hot dogs as well, because the main things that we put it on. So it's made usually from pickles and a few other things in there. So like a pickle relish is what we would call it also. All right, that is all for today. Again, you'll have links to all of these in the homework list. So if you have any other questions in looking through any of them, at the very top is the answers up here, the answer key. So if you get confused on anything as you're looking at it, then you can check that as well. All right, any other final questions or comments from anyone?
Not for today.
Okay. All right.
Could you send please links in Telegram group? Because I was this link for our file with links.
Yes, this will be, you will have access to this. It is in the shared file that everyone has. And it's on the, what is considered like the homework page. Yeah. So the link, I'm gonna just double check to make sure I've actually put it on there. If not, I will make sure I do that here in just a second. I feel like I did it the other day though. I did not put it on there already. I will do that now. I, for some reason, was thinking I'd already done that, but I will do it now. Okay, and then you'll have access to it. All right. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys very much, and I hope you have a great week. And I will see you on Friday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Go to eat.
Yes, go eat now.